In this podcast episode, Bill Burnett and Dave Evans, founders of Stanford's Life Design Lab, share insights on creating a fulfilling and meaningful life through design thinking principles. They discuss how individuals can navigate uncertainty, embrace multiple possible futures, and find purpose by prototyping different life paths. The conversation covers mindset shifts, managing discouragement, practical exercises like Odyssey planning, overcoming internal critics, and fostering a life rich with flow and engagement. Bill and Dave emphasize that there is no single right answer to life's design. Instead of searching for a perfect life or definitive purpose, the goal is to start moving forward, experimenting, and learning from experience. Life is a continuous process of doing, growing, and refining, rather than static achievement. They remind listeners that feeling stuck in a job, relationship, or circumstance doesn't mean their entire life lacks meaning. Often, unrecognized pockets of potential and aliveness exist, waiting to be explored. The hosts introduce the concept of designing your lives, reflecting that a person contains far more interests and capacities than can fit into a single lifetime. Referencing a thought experiment involving a particle accelerator and the multiverse, they explain that people often imagine living 7 or 8 different lives if possible. This idea counters traditional notions of self-actualization and encourages embracing varied passions and identities, rather than striving to be complete in only one role. This mindset opens up new possibilities and invites individuals to develop different chapters of themselves throughout their lives. Bill and Dave acknowledge the unique challenges faced by today's generations, including job instability, rapid technological changes like AI, and evolving social structures. They observe growing feelings of isolation and uncertainty among young people and mid-career individuals alike. However, they view the changing landscape as an opportunity for creativity and reinvention. They encourage openness to emerging roles and careers that don't yet exist, suggesting that curiosity and adaptability will be crucial assets in a dynamic world. For younger adults grappling with valid fears and confusion about the future, the hosts offer reassurance rooted in neuroscience and developmental psychology. The brain's executive functions are not fully mature until the late 20s, meaning it is normal not to have everything figured out early on. They frame this phase as a time for exploration and gathering options, rather than prematurely locking in a life path. Meanwhile, they recognize systemic problems, but urge individuals to focus on what is within their sphere of influence while remaining hopeful. Central to the Life Design Lab's methodology is the Odyssey plan exercise, which helps people envision 3 distinct 5-year life scenarios: continuing the current path, a viable plan B if the first is no longer possible, and a wild card where money or social judgment are no obstacles. This tool is designed to nurture curiosity, silence internal critics, and reveal the breadth of possibilities embedded within each individual. The process encourages moving away from binary thinking and embracing creative, sometimes unconventional ideas to expand the realm of what feels possible. Following Odyssey planning, the next step involves prototyping, testing out aspects of different life possibilities on a small scale to learn and adjust. Prototypes are framed as experiments intended for learning rather than for success or failure. Examples include engaging in narrative conversations with people living the life you're curious about, shadowing professionals, or trying small related activities. This iterative approach helps reduce fear, clarify preferences, and break down overwhelming decisions into manageable actions. Bill and Dave discuss how the brain's evolutionary wiring promotes negative bias to protect from harm, which often manifests as self-doubt and fear of failure. The life design approach involves training oneself to quiet this internal critic and approach change with failure immunity, where setbacks are reframed as valuable feedback rather than evidence of inadequacy. Small prototypes help diminish risk and encourage openness to uncertainty, creating momentum through consistent, low-stakes experimentation. The hosts share compelling examples and calculations to debunk the myth that it's too late to pursue new passions or careers. They highlight stories such as older adults deciding to go back to school or reinvent themselves, underscoring that meaningful change can happen at any age. Bill and Dave note that people often leave life with unfulfilled desires, So embracing the opportunity to design new chapters is an act of self-compassion and empowerment. A vital aspect of a meaningful life is spending more time in the flow world, a state of deep engagement where time seems to stand still and one feels fully present. This contrasts with the transaction world, which is dominated by busyness and achievement seeking. Flow experiences, whether in sports, creative activities, cooking, or other pursuits, generate energy and connection. The hosts stress the importance of balancing these worlds to live more fully and reclaim joy amidst life's demands. Acknowledging how overwhelming life can feel, Bill advises listeners to audit how they spend time, particularly on passive activities like social media, doom scrolling. By reclaiming even 20 minutes for introspection or creative experiment, individuals can open up space for reflection and discovery. He also recommends simpler approaches to growth, such as savoring moments of aliveness once a week, setting low bars for new habits, and embracing incremental progress rather than aiming for drastic change immediately. In a succinct distillation of their philosophy, Bill shares that the entire approach can be boiled down to 4 key actions: get curious, talk to people, try stuff, and tell your story. This cycle fuels ongoing discovery and engagement with life, turning design thinking from theory into lived practice. The process is dynamic and self-reinforcing, creating a flywheel of momentum that helps individuals move forward with optimism even amidst uncertainty. The hosts challenge the pervasive fear of missing out, FOMO, mindset, which suggests life is a scarce resource and missing any opportunity diminishes us. Instead, they advocate the joy of missing out, JOMO, recognizing the vast richness of life's possibilities and embracing that it's impossible to do everything. This shift helps cultivate gratitude for present experiences and encourages focusing energy on what truly matters rather than being anxious about what might be slipping by. To maintain clarity and intentionality, Bill and Dave recommend developing a personal focus question, an open-ended question that frames what you want to explore or become in the near future. This question guides attention and reflection, helping to prioritize meaningful activities and growth without getting bogged down by transactional concerns like money or status. A focus question aligns efforts with deeper purpose and helps anchor the journey of designing one's life. Recognizing that life design is not a solo endeavor, the hosts encourage involvement with supportive communities and accountability partners. Sharing stories, receiving constructive feedback, and listening to others' journeys enrich the process and foster belonging. They also highlight the value of writing or receiving one's own eulogy as a reflective exercise to identify what one truly values and hopes to be remembered for, providing motivation grounded in authenticity. Bill and Dave share their own wild card dreams, Bill's passion for painting and Dave's interest in performance art as an elite restaurant waiter, to illustrate that everyone harbors multiple selves and aspirations beyond their current roles. They urge listeners to identify their own wild cards, experiment with them, and share these visions with others to sustain motivation. This openness nurtures courage and affirms that designing a life rich with varied meaning is within reach. Ultimately, the life design message is one of permission and empowerment. Bill and Dave urge people to recognize they already have the capability to design fulfilling lives and to cast aside limiting beliefs and external judgments. Instead of waiting for perfect clarity or definitive answers, they encourage starting small, embracing curiosity, and moving forward with confidence. This active engagement with life's possibilities leads to greater freedom, agency, and a sense of ongoing meaning.